Ra's al Ghul is coming for us. All of us. If half of the stories that I have heard about Ra's al Ghul are true, we will all pay.
Oliver Queen courts war with us.
There is a prophecy. The man that doesn't perish at the blade of Ra's al Ghul will become Ra's al Ghul.
Get down!
Shadow?
Suicide Squad rides again.
Look out!
Oliver Queen is the arrow.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna stop him.
Stay the hell away from her.
You hunt the man they call the arrow.
People are being murdered. Your days as the arrow are finished.
Then maybe I should be Ra's al Ghul.
You've made us criminals, liars, and victims. You, Mr. Queen, are not a hero. You're a villain. I got you now, you son of a bitch.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my Arrow trailer breakdown. Biggest takeaway, WTF Quentin Lance in the Arrow Cave, and Brandon Routh's character Ray Palmer also finding out who Oliver is. This is a lot of speculation, but just in case, mild spoiler warning for episodes 16 through 18, or actually 19. Arrow's like one episode ahead of The Flash. They're going to be out of sync. It's going to be weird. Don't worry about it. It opens up on the League of Assassins, and this is going to be really exciting. For those of you that totally geek out on Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins, the back half of Arrow is going to be a deep dive into the League of Assassins. They're going to tell the story, the history of the League of Assassins. A lot of that's going to come from Ra's al Ghul's mouth, from the demon's mouth. The rest of it's going to come from Merlin and Team Arrow snooping around. Merlin's quote in this trailer about the legend of the man that survives Ra's al Ghul's blade, he said the same thing at Paley Fest. The man who survives the blade is destined to become Ra's al Ghul. Like a lot of things, there's a double meaning there. It's a double-edged sword. Make all the jokes about that you want. Yes, that's awesome. You can take over the League of Assassins, that's great. But it's also kind of a curse. Like, you have to take over the League of Assassins. And as much as Oliver is kind of in question here, he doesn't have a choice. That leaves the question as to how he's going to get out of this sentence. How is he going to walk away at the end of the season not being the next Ra's al Ghul and still having his head attached to his shoulders? Really, the biggest WTF from these flashback scenes is seeing Shadow alive. Just because we see her in the flashbacks, we see her alive like regular Shadow, that doesn't mean a lot. That could mean a lot of things. If you just go based on the timeline, she's dead when Oliver's supposedly seeing her. So that flashback could be from somewhere further in the past, he could be hallucinating, or it could be some crazy comic book twist where she has a twin or she's a clone. I know a lot of people are asking about Roy possibly being cloned this year. That was something that Teen Titans did, but we haven't really gotten into cloning on Arrow yet. And until they do it, it's really hard to tell whether or not they ever plan to get that fantastical. It's like Mark Guggenheim used to say, no superpowers on Arrow, but then he changed his mind. So until they quote unquote change their mind about cloning and stuff like that, we don't know if they're gonna do it. This scene here is of Team Arrow at a Russian facility, so it looks like they go back to Russia like they did in season 2. Here's a couple scenes from Suicidal Tendencies, that's the Suicide Squad episode. It's also the Diggle-Lila wedding episode. If you're a big fan of the Green Arrow Black Canary comics, then you'll recognize this as like an homage to Black Canary marrying Oliver Queen in the comics. If any of you are shippers, you can make as many jokes as you want about Olicity, Loricity, quantum superposition here, where Oliver is at a wedding in full tuxedo next to Laurel and Felicity. And no, I don't think that Oliver is ever going to get married while Stephen Amell is playing the Arrow, no matter how many seasons it gets. The coolest thing about these Suicide Squad scenes are that they're bringing Cupid back, like she's going to be part of the Suicide Squad. There've already been a couple pictures of it. Here we get some cool Atom scenes. We'll get to see him use his Atom suit a lot more. He's got a lot more special abilities that they just haven't shown off yet. Remember, they're going to do a spin-off where he's going to be a main character. So I think in order to get people pumped up for that, to get people excited for the spin-off, they're going to try and showcase all the things that he can do. Flying is cool, yes, but this Arc Blaster, it looks like this is going to be a lot of fun too. What I'm really interested to see is what Cisco does to the suit to make it better. And does it have anything to do with shrinking? Of course, WTF here, he finds out who Oliver is. It would not be a new season of Arrow if new people didn't find out Oliver's secret identity. Mark Guggenheim already said that Oliver and Ray Palmer aren't going to see eye to eye, just in terms of the way that they fight crime. I think they'll use that to lead into why Ray Palmer goes off to a different city to form a different super team. Like, they'll just have like a fundamental difference of opinion. So it'll be like, okay, fine, I'm just going to go over here and do my thing. You stay here and do your thing. And for those that are asking, no, Felicity is staying on Arrow. No matter what happens, Felicity will always stay on Arrow. She's not going on the spinoff. She's not going to go on The Flash, unless it's just a cameo. Here's a shot of Doug Jones. He's playing Deathbolt, the character from the comics. You may remember him as Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies. The episode that he's starring in is the episode that someone is supposed to die in. It could be Roy, it could be Maceo's son, it could be Quentin, but it has been confirmed. Someone is definitely dying. Quentin here meeting with Ra's al Ghul. This is really exciting. Quentin is kind of going to go against Team Arrow. As Ra's al Ghul said in some of the previous promos, the city will turn against you. He's talking about Oliver. Like, Oliver's been trying to make his city better, but it doesn't seem to be working, and everyone is going to wind up hating him. Especially Quentin here for what happened to Sarah, for Laurel and Oliver lying to him. The crazy thing here is that you have Oliver fighting someone else in his costume, in like a Green Arrow costume. That begs the question, is the city really actually going to turn against Oliver? Like, is this person masquerading as him, trying to do good, or is it someone trying to tarnish his name? Here's Quentin pulling a gun on Laurel, so this is actually getting a little crazy. Thea and Roy get a little busy. And then here's the big final WTF, Quentin breaking into the Arrow cave. It's possible that Ra's al Ghul tells him where to find the Arrow, and it just so happens to be in the Foundry. And he's like, hey, wait a minute, this is the building that my daughter's old boyfriend owns. Here's a shot of Nyssa going up against Ra's al Ghul. Remember, she is pissed that she is no longer the heir to the demon. Here's a very WTF looking Amanda Waller. Don't you just wonder what's happened to her? She looks like she's been like holed up somewhere or been held captive. Here it looks like Thea's getting ready to kill Merlin, or definitely contemplating it. So as much as shit is hitting the fan on The Flash, the same thing is happening on Arrow. Stephen Amell said this really interesting thing. He said that Oliver is seriously contemplating using the League of Assassins to accomplish his goal of cleaning up the city. It seems like it's all ended in failure, but inside his head, Oliver's thinking, what could I do with the resources of the League of Assassins at my disposal? So it's not going to happen right away, but he will work up to the point where he's like, maybe I should become the next Ra's al Ghul. But I think, honestly, all of us don't believe that he's going to become the next Ra's al Ghul. He's still going to be the Arrow when season 4 starts. So what is going to have to happen for Nyssa to become the heir again? For Oliver to be able to, step away from this very strange situation with Ra's al Ghul and still be alive? Don't forget, new episode of The Flash, episode 15 is on Tuesday. Be sure to subscribe to get my video for that. I'll post it right after the episode airs. Episode 16 of Arrow is going to air on Wednesday, so everything's coming back. There will be no more breaks between now and the finale. It's going to be a straight push to the finale, so don't worry about that. So if you guys want to watch these trailers again and just, put them on loop, here is a link to the Flash trailer. You can just watch it over and over again. It's going to be so awesome. Back Tuesday night, so that's back for new episodes. And you can click here for my Paley Fest breakdown. They talked a lot about season 2, Wally West coming, all kinds of crazy stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Now let's all do the thing.